Hello and namaskar viewers, I am Sanjeev Pandya welcoming you to the Tax Time show, and as you know that in this show, in every single episode we give you latest information when it comes to taxes, personal or business taxes, and this is all with the courtesy of Mr. Ajay Kumar of Sai CPA Services, CPA and MBA with Sai CPA Services, and with over 20 years of experience in full-fledged accounting services for personal accounting as well as the corporate accounting. He's with us. Ajay ji, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm good, Sanjeev ji. How are you?
I'm all right. I hear that you're a very busy man lately.
Well, it's been busy
Achha.
with a lot of loan programs, a lot of people working from home, a lot of questions. They are different than what they used to be. In June, we used to focus on gardening. I was just kidding with somebody that June was never this busy with this whole EIDL, PPP, main lending program. There are so many benefits that are given out to the small businesses, to general public. So a lot of questions are being asked with the accountant, and I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to help everybody.
Absolutely. And you know, normally this time of the year, you are sitting in your backyard and relaxing a little bit, doing some gardening and sightseeing and whatnot, a little bit of vacation. But it's all working days, 7 days a week.
Absolutely.
You know, viewers, I must tell you, Mr. Ajay Kumar is not passing money around, but he's definitely showing the ways where you can save money and pay less taxes and get maximum refund. That's what he's been doing lately.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Thank you so very much.
Intent behind all these programs to educate all the viewers so they can get the maximum benefit in their situation.
Absolutely. And so we'll touch upon emails a little bit later on. Let's just start today's show. In this episode, we're going to talk about home office deduction.
Absolutely.
If you use your home for the office, right, you are entitled to take deduction and you can score some deduction. But you know, there are ways to do it, how to do it, and who can do it. Let's just give a complete overview on this matter to our viewers.
It will be my pleasure. So a lot of people are forced to work from home under this COVID-19 situation. A lot of small businesses are forced to work from home. People who had their business location, their office location, Sanjeev ji, they are forced to move their business temporarily to their home. So there are certain benefits that you can take. The key here is you need to know what benefits are allowed. What do you have to do to claim those benefits? So this is the segment, this is the show. What are the benefits allowed for home office deductions under the current situation that we are in?
Absolutely. Now, when it comes to home office deduction, used to be kind of gray area before, but in 2018 there was some changes done to it, and then now in 2018 there are more changes also.
Absolutely. So prior to 2018, prior to the tax change laws that happened in 2018, even if you had a W-2 job, on Schedule A, you could claim certain expenses related to your job, unreimbursed job-related expenses we call it, including but not related to travel expense that we had 2106 form. A lot of expenses were allowed, and that created a gray area. A lot of those expenses should truly not be claimed when you are a W-2 employee. So in order to avoid this gray area, under the 2018 tax changes, that section was eliminated from Schedule A.
Absolutely,
so in 2018 and 2019 tax filing, we did not have the job-related miscellaneous unreimbursed type of segment on Schedule A. So W-2 employees are not allowed to claim these job-related expenses going forward.
Correct.
The segment here is under the COVID-19, a lot of small businesses are forced to work from home. So since there is no such area on the tax return on Schedule A, there is no such area anymore. What do we do now? What can we do to claim those expenses when you are legitimately running your business from home? That's the whole idea here.
Absolutely.
So we divided this whole segment into three parts. Who can claim it, then how much you can claim, and then we'll talk about how do you claim. So in the first segment, first section, let's see who can claim. So in let's divide the whole segment into two parts. Employee, meaning W-2 employee, and self-employed.
Consultant.
Self-employed,
consultants.
Or I have my own business, I have a partnership, I have an LLC, I have an S Corp, self-employed and W-2. I don't have a business, I'm working for somebody else. That's W2. So in general, at a high level, if you are a W2 employee, you are not allowed to claim miscellaneous job-related expenses. Home office expenses are not allowed for W2 employees, and I'll give you the exception in what situations you are allowed.
Okay, but before we go in that detail, what situation they are allowed, I think we're going to take a break.
Okay.
But I just have one question.
Please.
One thing is clear, that if someone is an employee on W2 and working from home, that person is not going to be able to take any deduction when it comes to home office.
Yes, W2 employees are not allowed to claim home office expense unless, and that's the exception that we are going to be talking about.
Oh, there is a
absolutely.
We're going to talk about it after the break. But let's say if that employee is consuming certain amount of electricity or internet and stuff like that, can they make some kind of agreement between the employer that employer reimburses those extra additional expenses to the employee?
Yes, you can have such arrangement where the employer is making additional payment, but that additional payment must go through the payroll. That additional payment must be taxable.
That's what I want to make sure.
Absolutely. Unless you are having this employee travel on behalf of the company. Say, for example, you come to TV Asia studio, and now we say, Sanjeev ji, can you go to New York to do some shooting?
Yes.
In that case, the company, the business is asking you to travel on its behalf, which is not your regular job site.
Yes.
In that case, you can be reimbursed on an actual basis, whatever you spent, and that's not taxable. So reimbursement is not taxable, but if we give you fixed amount of money, $250 every month,
it's taxable.
$500 every month,
it's taxable,
to make sure you can do your job, this fixed amount is a taxable amount.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you for making that clear. With that note, let's take a break. And when we come back, Mr. Ajay Kumar is ready to share out as much information possible on this matter. Today's topic, home office deduction. We'll be right back after these messages.